The Fosh 155 is one of the least ground tier 10s in World of Tanks Blitz, and to be fair, there's pretty good reason behind that. The vehicle is extremely infuriating to play. While it has very good damage per minute, fantastic frontal armor, and great mobility, the one issue with the tank is the accuracy. It used to have a 640 double shot burst autoloading gun, and Wargaming said, you know what, that's too strong, which I completely agreed with, and they nerfed it to a 560 alpha, very similar to the Ho-Ri. The issue was they left the accuracy the same. They lowered the alpha by 80, but the accuracy is still the same as a terrible 150 millimeter, almost like driving a T49. It's really bad. So because of that, I do not enjoy playing the tier 10 Fosh all that much. However, the tier 9 is a vehicle that I do not understand why it's such an underrated beast. Because this vehicle, no joke, has the same armor as the tier 10. You can see right here. It's got the same frontal armor at 180, same sides at 75, and the same rear at 50. So the tier 9 has the same armor as the tier 10. It also has the same mobility, going at 50 kilometers per hour forward with a power to weight ratio of 23, where the Fosh at tier 10 goes 50 kilometers per hour forward with a power to weight ratio of 24. So it's got the same mobility on basic all fronts. And when we take a look at the gun, this vehicle carries a 400 damage per shot gun with 3,500 DPM, which, by the way, is actually more than the tier 10 Fosh by about 200. And another thing is that this vehicle is getting a DPM buff in the next update. This tier 9, no joke, is going to be a lot better than the tier 10. I like the concept behind the tier 10 Fosh, but when this vehicle is going to have a ridiculous amount of DPM in the next update, who really cares? So we're going to do some quick maths and find out the exact true DPM of this vehicle. This is Blitz hanger changes, and as you can see here, the rate of fire is going up by quite a bit. Its DPM base is going from 3,053 to 3,429, or in other words, it's losing 0.86 off of its reload. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull out a calculator. Now, currently the Fosh's reload, we're going to find out right now so we can see what the actual DPM is going to be. Currently the Fosh's reload is 6.90. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over here. We're going to pull up the calculator. 6.90 minus 0.86 is going to get us that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to divide. It's basically around 10 rounds a minute, but we'll do it to the exact dot. So 60 divided by 6.04 gives you that number. Multiply that by its 400 damage per shot, and this vehicle in the next update is going to have 3,973 damage per minute. Yes, you heard that right. 3,973. I mean, that is going to be absolutely insane. A vehicle like the Tortoise doesn't even have that much damage per minute right now. That's going to be on par with the SU-122-54 and the Ag Tiger, but this thing's actually mobile, and it carries extremely good frontal armor, enough that almost any tier 8, even with premium shells, cannot penetrate your front. That is a scary, scary thought, but as well a pretty exciting thought. So let's get into a battle here that I played in the Fosh literally like a minute ago to showcase just what this vehicle is going to be all about. But yeah, I'm quite excited for this. I mean, I still don't think people are going to play it. That's the weird part. This vehicle is already a very strong vehicle. Having 3,500 DPM with this mobility and frontal armor in tier 9 is great. I mean, you're going to watch this battle here, even up against tier 10s. This thing is a beast. So shaving literally almost a second off the reload, oh my god, this thing is going to be one of the best tier 9s in the game. So I'm hoping that you guys take this as a precautionary warning, and A, you learn how to take this thing out, and B, you learn to maybe grind down this line. I wouldn't even suggest to get the tier 10 if you don't like inaccurate vehicles. Just stop at the tier 9 because you'll enjoy it, and eventually you will research the tier 10 doing that. I mean, you're going to see how quick this reload is already. We've shot that Klamdong once, and with his very slow speed, he's trying to get into the position, and we shoot him again. So that's already 808 hit points of damage. I managed to rack up on my table literally in the first like 20 seconds. And again, we're just reloading. We've got the FE-Tuned 5E183 here, and I do get a bit of unfortunate luck. My tank turns the moment I shoot just from its auto turning, and because of that, it makes me miss my shot. That kind of sucks because that wasn't even on me. But what we are going to do is load premium shells and start shooting at the upper plate of this Ag Tiger. There you go. There's one shell into the upper plate of the Ag Tiger, and there is two shells into the upper plate of the Ag Tiger. So now we're sitting at 1,500 damage. I'm going to take another blind shot because, I mean, why not? Never hurts. Hopefully that one does hit the egg. But now I'm noticing, okay, we got a Bash Shot down behind us, and there's really not much in the front right now. 183 tries HEing me, but doesn't really do much, and my shell doesn't hit him either because it hits his back track wheel. But I am noticing, oh boy, I'm already down 2 tier 9 heavy tanks from mid because of that enemy push. So I obviously don't want to deal with that. So I'm going to push over here and try and help out the Hori with the Bash Shot. I don't know why that Batchat rammed the Hori, but I guess he wants to lose an extra 200 hit points. There's one shot into the Batchat, and we're going to turn our tank as quickly as possible, and kabloomy. There you go, 2 shots into the Batchat. That's another 800 hit points picked up, and now we're at 2,250. Now we got the Grandong over here. He's trying to shoot at my hatch, as that's really the only spot he can pen frontally, the hatch in the lower plate. And there you go, Hori finishes off the enemy Quran. So this game's already been pretty hectic, but we've managed to pick up a pretty decent chunk of damage. We still got the M5 in mid. They have a 183, that is, to what I'm aware, full health still. Yep, there is the 183, but thankfully, boom, there you go, one nice tap straight into that 183. And, well, if he's gonna sit here, I honestly trust the armor enough at this angle to get another shot in. And there you go, he fires a Hesh at me, doesn't really do much, so he is dead. I actually thought the fall killed him for a moment, but then I actually realized it wasn't the fall. I really wanted to jump down on that M6, or M5 but the only issue I had was I had 800 hit points, and the gun that guy's running is the 2-shot 450 Alpha, which obviously will completely just destroy me if it managed to pen me. However, I noticed that he missed one shot, and there you go, we got that bounce on that frontal armor working. So there's a second one. My auto aim kind of let me down there. That was my fault for using auto aim. I should have aimed that. But either way, there's one shot into the side of the M5 I was a little worried about that Yag Tiger. This guy's obviously got a super long reload, so he doesn't really scare me. Just try and aim in on his little turret spot. There you go. And sure, I mean, even though this wasn't the craziest of games, we still picked out 4,200 damage. I mean, that is how quickly the Fosh can roll out the damage. Now imagine this, but instead of having 3,400 DPM, we're sitting at 3,900 damage per minute. So there you go, that was a 4,286 damage mastery in the vehicle. Did our job. How about we break into the other game on Fort Despair? Now this battle, you're going to see where the armor doesn't work, but I'm just using the raw DPM to shoot into the enemy. To be fair, the armor could have worked, I just didn't use it really. I just kind of pushed in aggressively and let the enemy shoot at me because I was just trying to farm. So the enemy team, what do we have? Well, we got an E75, Object 704, T30. You're going to watch the enemy team play this really long, or really bad, should I say. And because of that, I'm going to take advantage of their mishaps and make it my job to completely farm their hit point pool. So I'm going to be pushing very aggressive in the position. I like this spot here. This is really nice because if you're fast enough, you can spot heavies and mediums that try crossing either side. Unfortunately, I actually didn't spot anybody, which was kind of weird. So because of that, I was guessing that, yeah, most likely they were going to push towards C side. Usually only spot people when they're going towards D. So we haven't spotted, well, not D, A side, sorry, misspoke there. But here we go. We're going to push our way over to this side. Now, we are a top tier tank, and against tier 8s, this DPM is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, that Glacial over there, you do not know how much I was like, oh yes, this Glacial is about to get a world of pain. So there's one shell into his tank, and even though we don't get many shots out into his vehicle, that's still 800, just about 800 hit points we just dumped off of that guy in just around 6 seconds. I mean, that's still incredibly quick on how much damage we racked out. I got a T30 behind me, and I've also got some teammates doing some weird things in front of me. But what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to make a bit of an aggressive move, and that's where I didn't really use the armor. I mean, there's not much I can say about it. I just kind of got bodied by that 704, lost over 700 hit points. Thankfully, the C75 does not aim, and because of that, we get a pretty nice bounce. I wanted to shoot this IS-6 because I was pretty sure this guy was going to die either way, but I was about to load an HE shell and finish him off. Thankfully, my teammate in the Kampfpanzer did that for me. So I'm going to continue pushing through. We got the Object 704 here, who it looked like was trying to kill me, but it seems like he wasn't actually going to get over that hill. So that's good. I just watched the 704 shoot, so I'm going to push over here. I'm still not really wanting to push the 704, though. It's got a very quick reload, 3,000 DPM. So I'm going to wait for him to turn a bit, then we're going to shoot him in the front back up, and with that, we're already at 2,092 damage. And the enemy team still has 3 vehicles left. We got the T54 lightweight right in front, and kaboom! You can actually see, unlike the tier 10 Foch, that this gun is not actually bad on the DPM and accuracy. I mean, well, actually, the tier 10 Foch isn't bad on the DPM. I meant to say accuracy. The tier 10 Foch would never have hit that shot. If that was like a 62%, that would have never hit. It would have missed by like a quarter mile. And that would have been about the last time you ever heard of me, because I probably would have died at that point. This tank doesn't really miss shots, and because you've got such a quick reload between shells with that high DPM, you don't even really need to worry about being pushed, because if you do get pushed, you just ruin their day. I mean, you can just see I'm just playing so aggressive here. Even though I get penned in the lower plate, I don't care, because I'm making this gun just rip into the enemy. There goes the T-44, and with that, we're going to fire one more shell into this T-30. It would have been nice if I could have gotten in one more time to break that 4,000 damage per minute barrier again, or 4,000 damage per barrier. But we still did pretty good. We did 3,815 in this game, and we were easily able again to just rack out these huge damage numbers in such a short succession. So I like the Foch. It's an incredible tank. These are the only 2 games I've played in the vehicle today, apart from the one on Nube, which, I'll be honest, wasn't great. It got kind of YOLO rushed. I mean, we still won, but wasn't the best of battles. Either way, I really like the Foch. It's an incredible tank. It can get out some super high damage numbers. And next update, this will be an overpowered tank, in my opinion. I'm very scared of it, and I'm also very excited to drive it. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comments down below. But other than that, stay happy, stay healthy, and I'll be seeing you in the next one. Bye-bye.